Hello, Conduit Gaming here. I do have a bit of a sore throat, so sorry if it sounds a bit rough, but let's just get right into the review. So, Witchcraft U is the newest choice of games game. And honestly, the too long didn't read version of this review is that the game is really mediocre. It's like super mid. Like, is it bad? No, not really. Is it good? No, not really. It's mid. It's mediocre. I mean, it has 200,000 words. It took me about hour and a half, hour 40 to complete. You play as the new magical student at Larkspur University, the college for witches and warlocks. But they started accepting mundanes like 30, 40 years ago, which is the universe's word for non magical people. So, mundanes are just muggles. But most people at this university don't pay too much attention to the magical students. Like, I mean, it's treated the same as if you went there for business or accounting or anything, you know? You're just a magical studies student. There is a little bit of intrigue within the game, like you have your own dark secret with your adopted family being a crime syndicate and everything. This game does a pretty good job of simulating the college experience and kind of like the college town experience. Like constant schoolwork, having to work a part time job to pay for books, having fun, meeting new friends, meeting new enemies. So this game is a lot like a school simulator. It's a lot more like sci-hi than Creme de la Creme, with a lot more focus on, well, kind of like the story and machinations behind your family and college, not really personal relationships. Not that sci-hi doesn't have a focus on that, but it's kind of more about, I guess, the story, not really relationships, which is honestly one of my biggest complaints about the game. You don't really get close to any of the characters even when you romance them. Like, I decided to romance Tanya my first playthrough. Hung out with her whenever I got an option to, and I still feel like I didn't really know much about her or know her too well. Like, even after it's established that, like, the main character and her are dating, like, you don't even really spend any more time with her. Like, she met my adopted family and everything, and then after that, I feel like I never talked to her again. You don't even get anything about her in the epilogue. Like, even when you're dealing with your friends in the game, you don't really talk to them too much. Like, yeah, there's a couple scenes, but I mean, like, for each person, there's probably like a max of like 2 to 3 scenes with them. The magic in this universe, it's a bit weird. It's not like your normal like fire, ice, like nothing really cool like that. It's a lot more specialized and maybe more grounded, I'll say, but I mean, it's still magic. There's 4 different specializations of magic that you can excel in. There's Wildcraft, which has to do with using nature's energy to use magic, hence the name Wildcraft. There's high magic, which is more like a sort of scientific sort of magic with like sigils and using magic algorithms and something called sacred geometry. So a lot more like grounded form of magic. And then there's spirit contact, which is basically, just being a medium. You can talk to and ask for help from ghosts and stuff like that. And then last but not least, there's thaumaturgy. I'm sorry, I know I pronounced that wrong, but I know I can't pronounce it right. Which is where you take power directly from like cosmic sources. Not many people understand it, but it is the most powerful form of wizardry. Magic in this game is honestly a bit lackluster. Like, the only time you're able to use magic is really like when you're in school or doing like a wizard trial type of thing. And honestly, I find that, like, a little boring. Like, I don't know, if you were like a wizard, wouldn't you be using magic all the time? In fact, there's other wizards who do that, where you can get a part-time job and your boss, like, uses magic to get people inside the door. And it's just kind of like, why don't I have any options to do something like that? To use magic to get what I want? I feel like the game kind of like neglects that, especially when like one of the stats is if you're like, more of a team player or if you're more selfish. So it's like, if I'm a selfish character, why would I not be using magic to like take advantage of people, to take advantage of everything? There's a lot of like mundanes on campus. Why can't I use magic on them? And then regarding choices with magic, I mean, like, the option that you choose at the very beginning to choose what magic you want to specialize in is the only option, you're going to click the entire game. You know, you're going to be doing a wizard trial. 4 options are going to pop up, and you're going to pick the option that correlates with, like, your magical ability. Like, there's the Wildcraft option, you know, the high magic option. Like, I don't know. I find that a little boring. I wish there was maybe some more flair to it. That's really all I have to say on the magic. Like, honestly, I feel like the magic let me down a lot in this game, especially when there's like so many other good ones, like Life of a Wizard, stuff like that, that kind of simulate, I guess, being able to use magic better. A big part of the game's story is choosing what you want out of college. There's multiple options, and it all kind of depends on what you want to work towards, you know. You can join the family business and become a criminal. You can get a magical internship over the summer and come back to college. Maybe you want to fully devote yourself to one of the many secret societies that you can join. I mean, maybe you just want to be like a regular student and come back next year. There's a lot of options. I will say, though, the endings, I don't know. It's pretty lackluster. I feel like the epilogue didn't have a lot, didn't really tie up a lot of loose ends. Like, I want to know what, like, some of the people you meet are up to after it's over. And I feel like the story doesn't really do that. Is there a lot of replayability? I mean, maybe, like, just the endings. I feel like the text options really don't change that much. So, I mean, overall for the game, do I recommend you buy it? Man, I mean, it's on sale right now. If you got $2 to spare, you know, it's an all right read. But I mean, if this, like, I don't know, if it doesn't sound good to you, I would not buy it, you know. I don't know. Do I regret my purchase? No, not really. It was all right. It was a fun read. I'm always down to read some more, you know, choice of games books, but I don't know. That's all I have to say. This has been Conduit Gaming. I appreciate you watching. Yeah, have a nice day.